Hey, I had to stop. I was actually on my. I was basically working on reading this book. It's called The Creator's Code: um, Six Essential Skills for Entrepreneurs or Extraordinary Entrepreneurs by Amy Wilkinson. It was actually a part inside this particular book that I wanted to talk about, which was the term functional fixedness. And it is a very deep way to explain the term of the fact that you continue to use one way of looking at it, one function, to solve all your problems. It's another way of explaining that you are thinking inside the box rather than thinking outside the box. So I like to remember. I would like to remember. I used to watch this TV show called MacGyver. I don't know if you perhaps remember that show, MacGyver. And it was basically this show. It was like this genius guy. He would make a bomb out of a paper clip and some oil or something, just like anything. And so he's truly like the idea of like thinking outside the box. One of the reasons why I bring this up was because this book is about entrepreneurship that talks about how to look at different situations and capitalize on them or leverage them for some sort of like capital gain or something, for example, for some benefit of some sort. But they also brought up an example of candles, a box of matches, and a box of matches, and the box, the candle, and the thumbtacks. That's basically what it is. And the idea is that you are supposed to take these three items and put the candle on the wall. Now the term they use in here is to attach the candle to the wall. So me listening to that, I actually think of the word attach, and I would tax, and I would actually go ahead and tack the candle to the wall by taking a tack out and put it on the wall. The idea behind it, though, they were talking about putting it on the wall as a shelf. That was the key that you should have done. So I'm gonna read a little section from it. It says here, bring it up real quick. In the experiment, in its original form, participants are presented with a candle, some matches, and a box of thumbtacks. Using only these items, they are asked to attach the candle to the wall. Most attempt to melt the candle to the wall or attach it with thumbtacks. But when you are basically explained to what the words actually were about, let me try to make sure I don't paraphrase here. Yeah, so they said here to change the way you look at the item they were talking about. They would say on the table there is a candle, a box of tacks, and a book of matches. And because they said it in that frame, you was able to go ahead and solve the problem much more effectively, which was to empty the box of tacks and use the box as a shelf that you tack the box to, and then you place the candle into the box. And this is exactly what I try to explain about businesses and entrepreneurship and what you're actually trying to do in life. And the idea is that you really need to be able to think differently, think about the problem from a different perspective. And where you get different perspectives is by listening to different people from different viewpoints. Yes, that's the word. Different viewpoints. So, for example, it is very important to listen to the viewpoint of your instructor and other students. People, whether there are people who are able to get the answer correct within a minute, or it takes them a couple of days to answer it, or they got to do it over and over and over again. This way, it helps you to measure how well you understand it, because your understanding is a reflection, or not? Your understanding is not really a reflection, but it's a subset. It's a subset of what it actually means to everybody else. You get it? So what I'm trying to get you to understand is that I actually suffered from functional fixedness, and I think that it became something I would always do. I would always use things in the same way they were intended because of the fact that that was always considered the fastest way because I didn't have to think about it. But the key is that you still need to think about things in other ways every time you do them, you know? And functional fixedness is something like, you know, do you continue to walk everywhere you need to go, or would you get a bike, you know? If you are going to get a car, or would you take public transportation? You know, the different strategies that you do to go to work could be an opportunity to understand functional fixedness. And I looked online. I've seen like on YouTube. It was like one video that talked about how if somebody tells you to screw, you know, they give you a toolbox, and they tell you to in this toolbox find a way to screw this nail into the wall or whatever the case may be. And I think that for me, the cue of looking at the top of the toolbox being handed to me, I would automatically start looking in the toolbox for the answer. But if you pay a little bit more attention, you may find out that you might find a tool in there, but you have to look at all the tools. But you might be able to just go ahead and get a butter knife and actually, you know, screw in and screw through if you're in a situation where you could do it, if you're in the house and whatnot. So this also plays a really good tale in why we need to do whiteboarding exercises, and we have coding or technical interviews, because we are actually as software developers, it's crucial that we pay attention to detail, but we also want to pay attention to not just the most efficient way, but also the most effective way long term. You know, writing your code so that way you get the lowest time, you know, space-time complexity is great if you have, you know, memory the size, you know, that you put in, you know, in the 1960s or 1970s. But like we have a lot more space right now. So what will be more important is like how long will the code last? How long will we be using it? And that idea, you might want to make sure that the code is readable and it's easy to understand and easy to be used. And that comes into the fact that readability is better because more people will have to read it over time. And because as time goes on, we get more space. We can probably keep a couple more, you know, bits of memory to keep, you know, to have a longer word for a sentence for a variable, for example. You know, so I've been doing a lot of different things or trying to understand these type of ideas. But when I seen this, I had to stop and you know, let people know that, hey, you know, this is actually a really good word to look up. So the concept is functional fixedness, and you can look it up in the online on Google and whatnot. But the book I'm actually reading is Amy Wilkinson's The 6 Essential Skills of Extraordinary Entrepreneurs, and I'm almost done with it. It's just like I'm actually want to start using YouTube and all this social media to actually keep points of my memory, points of ideas in my memory, and then be able to tap into them, you know, without having to worry about losing them somehow. So, all right, take care. Functional fixedness. Oh, that's a really good concept. I really like that one.